Is it kind of fair to say there does be a little bit of a kind of a Ireland hangover from Tyrone into county scene, and that like that would be something that Fergal Logan and Brian Doherty would be very quick to nip in the bud this year.
Yeah, as you well say there, there's I wouldn't say that it's an All Ireland hangover. I would say that it's more that target's more on your back then than it probably had been previously, because you're the hunter. The year before, well, all of a sudden you become the hunted. If you understand what I mean. Everybody previously had been out to get Dublin, and nobody could to get sort of could nip them. I know Kerry got close and Mayo got close, but nobody got over the line against them. So I think it becomes more that you're becoming the hunted now, and people are trying to catch you. Your target's on your back. We've seen how competitive the Ulster Championship is. Derry are back in the scene again. Armagh have a team that is capable of challenging. Donegal's a real strong force in Ulster. So are Monaghan. So Cavan had been there a couple of years ago as well. So getting out of Ulster alone, whether we have an All Ireland or we have a back door or not, that's going to be really, really tough for them. So Tyrone's going to have whenever the draw is made, they're going to be straight out. Somebody wants to just put down their marker against them straight away. So it's a job for Fergal and Brian to get those players back in, get them injury free after the club scene. They're having a team holiday this year in America, so when they get back from that and get the feet settled again, it'll be interesting for them to see how they go about it. It'll be obviously a different approach because all three All Irelands previous had come under Mickey Hart, so it'll be interesting to see how the new management handle the aftermath and how they approach the 2022 season.
Yeah, and just even looking as well, you're on a Tyrone team in 2008 that won a minor All Ireland, defeating Mayo after a replay, and still looking at that team and players who still are going strong with the Tyrone senior team, the likes of Peter Hart and Matty Donnelly. They've been a long time on the scene at senior level of Tyrone. I think they kind of burst on there about 10 or 11 years ago. The fact now that they finally got that Celtic Cross medal in their back pocket, like where are they going to rank now in terms of the great Tyrone teams from say the previous sides that claimed Ireland's back in the noughties?
Um, yeah, as you say, so back in 2008, Peter Hart and Matty Donnelly were mainstays in the Tyrone minor team at that time. They'd been there for a few years, like myself. So we both sort of come into the squad in 2009, and then Peter Hart was probably the most regular feature out of the rest of us. Matty actually opted out of the panel, and I spoke to Mickey Hart at that time, said he wanted to go away and work on his physical size and strength and come back into the panel, and he did do
He
that,
done
and
that well anyway.
he come back a physical man, able to handle himself really, really well. So those boys now have to be up there with the other fellas who won the All Ireland for Tyrone. And yes, we can say that there's boys who have 2 or 3 All Ireland medals, but the Peter Harts and the Matty Donnellys have served Tyrone really, really well over the last 10 or 11 years, and it's been just reward for them to soldier that long and finally get over the line. I think I had been speaking to a lot of them. I'd been really close with the right few of them, and speaking to them after the game and in the few days after that, it was a serious sense of relief. There was the most frequent word used was just that sense of relief to get over the line and to say I've done it, to do all the hard training that they'd done because they'd been knocking on the door but just hadn't beat a Kerry or a Mayo or Dublin in the championship. It was a sense of relief and like a weight off their shoulders. So it would be no surprise to me to see Tyrone do back to back just with that sense of relief, and not have that pressure on them anymore of saying, you haven't delivered on the big stage. Now they've delivered and delivered really, really well under the new management. It wouldn't be a shock to me to see them back in the final and even go all the way again.